Hi there, my name's Alistair Kennedy and I'm the Sociable Social Worker, and I give practical advice to social workers, newly qualified social workers and social work students. And in this video I'm going to talk about the best social work jobs that you can do. Now, this is a very subjective video because obviously I'm going to talk about the jobs that I've done. But towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you a surprising job that you may not come across before, so stay tuned. So, job number one, child protection, frontline social work, front door social work, safeguarding, whatever you want to call it. This is the job that has the steepest learning curve. And I always say to student social workers, get your placement in a child protection team or within a local authority child protection team. It is the steepest learning curve you'll ever have. Crucially, you'll learn how to use your theory, you'll learn how to deal with conflict, and when you come to graduate, it'll be good for your career progression. But as I say, child protection is one of the best places to work. It's exciting, the camaraderie is fantastic, and the team support will be amazing. And also, the social life isn't too bad either. Job number two, fostering and adoption. Now, when I started out in fostering and adoption, and I've been there for about 12 to 15 years, I think it must be now, people said to me when I was leaving to get up my first fostering job, oh, are you going there because you want to be liked? And it was kind of seen as where people went to retire. Not anymore. You know, fostering and adoption is inviting more and more younger social workers into their folds. The reason being that is we need that energy, we need that sustained momentum from new social workers coming in with all their theories and their energy, and that's why people were starting to take more younger people into fostering. It gives you a solid foundation as well. You get to use the theories that you probably would not use in child protection. You also get to use some of the behavioural management techniques that you were taught in university, and crucially you can learn a lot about training. You can do out of hours if you want, you can do assessments as well, and also if you go to a therapeutic fostering agency, which is a private agency, sometimes you can do lots of therapeutic training and lots of mandatory training, especially which are all trauma led. Job number three, residential. Now, you've probably all heard when you were at university that residential is absolutely horrible. There's all these horror stories, but actually those were of a time and a place for residential. Residential has changed dramatically with better training, more experienced staff, better locations, great behavioural management techniques, and the sector has moved on dramatically. Even, the actual environments that children and young people live in are amazing now compared to some of the residential units that I worked in, cut my teeth as a trainee social worker and before I went into social work. Now, I remember working in residential care and there was blood on the floor most nights in residential care, and it wasn't the children's blood, it was mostly the staff's blood. But things have changed dramatically, and actually having a kind of trauma-led, therapeutic-based environment is key to residential care now. And I would always say to people like child protection, residential care is such a good job to get your teeth into, and it gives you the fundamentals on how to talk to children, how to manage children's behaviour, and just deal with young people a bit like fostering on a day-to-day basis. And finally, I told you I would tell you a job that I really, really enjoyed doing, that I learned so much at, which was probation and youth justice. Now, this was in Scotland, so it was very different. In England, probation and youth justice are very, very different things. Go and Google it, you'll find out. So in probation and youth justice, I learned a lot about my practice elements of social work, communication, time management, IT skills, de-escalation, conflict resolution, report writing, case management, crisis management, and behavioural management, including CBT, because we used to do in the old days a CBT course with some of the young people that were on probation or within the youth justice service. However, probation and youth justice, You do have to do a lot of paperwork, and there's a lot of what they call social inquiry reports and background reports that you have to do. But if you're really, really nosy like I am, then actually you'll not be bothered about that. It's really one of those jobs that you can be particularly nosy in. So there you have it. I hope that gives you some insight into social work roles that I've enjoyed, and I hope you will think closely about the next roles that you have, and this comes in handy. So if you like this video, give it the thumbs up, and if you want notifications, then ring the little bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Okay, thanks, and I'll see you again.